Good morning, my loving Tiffany Thinks family. It is CT scan day. So they've booked me in for a CT scan and an MRI scan of the liver because before the clinical trial starts, they need to make sure that the liver is okay. So I've got the CT scan booked in for today and then the MRI in a couple of days. So I'm going to go in. Let's get that done. I'm here in Sutton. They told me to drink 500 millilitres of water. I haven't done that yet. So I need to, if I drink this whole bottle, I'm up to here. So once I've had this, I'm ready for the scan. I'm nearly done. Okay, all done. Actually all done now. If you haven't drank water, drink water. They're doing the contrast, so she just said yesterday on the phone when she was confirming the appointment, she just said just make sure to drink 500 millilitres. And she said you can't eat 2 hours before the scan. So I haven't had anything to eat, but I don't usually eat first thing in the morning, as you all know. It was raining so much, but now it's settled down, so that's good. I've parked on this side of the hospital because the CT department's downstairs. So I need to go upstairs to check in, and then the scan happens downstairs. I have a CT scan.
Name, please.
Tiffany. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm in the waiting area. This appointment shouldn't take too long, to be honest. It's just the CT scan. That's it, no more appointments. So it shouldn't take too long. It's very, very busy. I've got the cannula put in, so all ready for me scan. CT scan done. Tick, tick, tick. Oh my goodness. It's raining now. It was raining all morning, but when I came in earlier, I thought that was it. I thought the rain had finished. Right, let's go into the car. Okay, I'm in the car now. Scan is all done. I feel like I didn't expect it to rain. I don't know why. It was raining this morning, so I should have known. My darling, he actually left my raincoat out for me, but I thought, you know what? I've got my hoodie. I'll be fine. I'm thinking, right, whilst I'm here, I'm gonna go and get my eyebrows done. I just think, you know, I feel like it'll make me feel I need it done. So let's go and get my eyebrows done, and I don't want to think about this. I've got the MRI scan happening too in a couple of days, and then hopefully the liver is okay. I just feel like if I talk about it or if I think about it, I'm going to get worked up inside, and I'm just going to overthink things and think the worst, and I just can't do that. So I'm going to keep myself busy. I'm going to go and get my eyebrows done. I'm going to go see my lovely Amma, and I'm just going to keep myself busy over the next few days because I just pray to God that my liver is okay and I can start on the clinical trials. They're very, very, because their side effects is on the liver. So the liver has to be really, really healthy in order for me to be on the clinical trials. So that's why they're checking everything in so much detail. So we just have to pray and hope that everything's okay and I can go on the trials very quickly. You know, it's so important to start it, and I think once we get the results of this we can move on to the next part. You know, it's so hard. You know, the CT scan was very quick, but you have to put your arms up, and where it's so sore on my neck, when I put my arms up I was like ow, 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 but I knew the scan needed to be done. It's okay to put it up, but when you keep it up for too long it really hurts my neck and this area, because I think it's kind of, the cancer is this area predominantly, so that's why it was hurting, but I needed to get the scan done. Right, let's go. Eyebrows done. I got myself a little coffee, a little extra hot flat white. I'm just doing things that make me super happy, and I don't want to think. I just don't want to think. I just want to keep myself busy. It's really nice coffee. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I haven't had anything to eat yet, and I don't really like having a coffee on an empty stomach, you know, when because of my stoma. So whenever I have coffee, I need to make sure I have some food, so I need to eat something as well. Okay, I'm gonna go to Amma's now. Good morning, my loving Tiffany Thanks family. It's a few days later. Today is the day of the MRI of the liver, so I'm hoping it shouldn't take too long. I know the MRI is the scan that I just don't like. I feel really I think it's because I vomited. If you've been on my channel for a long time, you will remember I vlogged that day. When I had the MRI scan, I vomited in the scan, and it really, anytime I think about the MRI scan, that's what goes through my mind, because I just remember lying there and I needed to vomit, and I never had that before. And yeah, I actually vomited in the machine, and I felt so bad for all the radiographers and everyone in there, because it just wasn't nice. And yeah, so I think whenever I think about MRI scans, I think about that, and I shouldn't. I've had so many MRI scans before, and just because I vomited, I shouldn't allow it to kind of take over and make me feel anxious about it. It's just because the MRI scan takes the longest for me. So out of the MRI, PET scan, CT scan, with the PET scan, the radioactive dye needs to work, and it takes an hour. So you're not in the machine for an hour, you're kind of waiting in the room, and then the scan is very quick. And also with the CT scan, it's very quick. Whereas with the MRI machine, with the MRI scan, I just know it just takes a lot longer. So I'm hoping, because it's just off the liver, it shouldn't take too long. And then after that, after the scan's done, I am free. I am so free, and my darling comes home from work earlier today, so he's only doing a half day, which is brilliant. So we're going to spend time together after. I feel like we're doing a lot of things together, and I feel like we're together all the time, which is really good. It's what I love, and I have been very anxious. I was okay for the first scan, I was kind of blocking it out, but for this scan, I'm just feeling a bit, you know when you're just a bit worried because you just don't know. I think I'm thinking, well, last night I kept thinking about the worst case scenario, and what if, because with this clinical trial, I don't know where chemical trial came from. Yeah, so with this clinical trial, they have to make sure that the liver is absolutely healthy and really good before I start. So that's why they're doing in-depth scans of the liver. If you're wondering why they're doing the liver scans, that's why, because where they've done the clinical trial before, it's affected people's livers. They'll do the scan now, and then they'll keep a close eye on the liver as I'm having the treatment. So I'm just hoping, I think for me, I'll say it out loud, I'm just scared that something happens with the liver and then they can't do the clinical trial, and then it's kind of going to be back to square one again. So I think that's where my thoughts are, and I couldn't sleep last night because I kept thinking, what if something's wrong with my liver? Where they're doing such in-depth scans of the liver now, what if they find something? And that really worries me, but I know I can't think about it too much, because then it's just going to affect my days, and then when I get results, you know, it's just, I don't want to be anxious. And at night time, it's normal for me anyways, that's where I get most anxious. I think where it's quiet and it gets darker quicker now, and yeah, so I think I have been in my thoughts, especially last night, but today I just want to kind of snap out of it. I've taken all of my jewellery off, my ring and my earrings, I've taken everything off, just because they do give you a locker when, you know, before you go in for your scan, they give you a little locker, but I just don't feel comfortable kind of leaving my ring there, my earrings and jewellery, so I just thought I'll just leave it here and not wear anything, so that I'm not thinking about my jewellery at all. I am taking my painkillers, my Aquaphor, my phone. What else am I taking? I'm taking my bullet journal, so, and my purse. I've got a few bits and bobs in my bag. I don't really need too much because I'm not going to be in the hospital for too long. So yeah, let's go. Let's start the day at the hospital, and then hopefully I won't be in there for too long. And then when I get home, my darling will be home, and what are we having for dinner? I'm not entirely sure. I think we've got chicken in the fridge. We could do chicken burgers, chicken wraps, chicken with something. I've got broccoli in there as well, so whatever we have, I'm gonna have a side of broccoli. I have been trying to include more greens, more vegetables in my diet. I know it's a little bit, with the stoma, I have to be extremely careful. So I'm just chewing a lot more, and I'm not eating a lot. I'm not having a plate full of vegetables. I'm having a few vegetables whilst I'm having dinner and just chewing really, really well. So I'm gonna have broccoli today. It needs to be eaten, and I like the tender stem broccoli. You know, they're really nice and crunchy, and if you put a little bit of salt on it as well, it tastes really, really nice. And my stoma seems okay with it. So I did have my darling, he made this really nice corn on the cob, and he put all this flavouring on it. So I took a bite of it, but my stoma was not happy. So I'm staying well away from sweet corn, corn on the cob, anything. Yeah, just staying away from that. But it did taste really nice, but it just wasn't worth it. My stoma was not happy, and I just can't do that to my tummy again. Last night we had really yummy soup, and then we put dumplings in it, and it was so yummy. I keep thinking about how cozy it was last night, because we went for a little walk. It was really, really cold, but it was kind of crisp at the same time. It wasn't raining, but it was just such cozy weather. So when we came back, we had soup and we put little dumplings in it, and it honestly was the best dinner. And I really feel like we need to kind of make a batch of soup and then freeze it, so that whenever we want to feel cozy, we could just take it out, so that we can just kind of have it prepared. And I feel like I'm going to live off soup in the autumn winter months. I just love that cozy warm feeling, and having soup is definitely making me feel very, I don't want to say cozy again, but I definitely feel very happy.
Doors closing. 3.
I think I'm in the right place.
Doors opening.
Tiffany? I'm all checked in now, so it's just an MRI, and then I'm all done after the scan. Okay, I need to go all the way down to the basement, and I think that's where the scan is happening.
Please mind the doors. Going down.
I don't think I've ever had an MRI here, because usually I have it done in Sutton, and I'm in Chelsea today, so my treatment will happen in Chelsea.
Basement floor.
Okay, we're here.
Mind the doors. Doors closing.
MRI scan time. Okay, it's going to be okay. She said it's going to take about 45 minutes, so I'll kind of be in there, listen to some music. I might even fall asleep. Right, I'll see you after. MRI all done. They did the contrast, so yeah, tick, tick, tick. It was a lot of breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, all done. I brought my raincoat with me, but it's not raining anymore, but I'm still gonna put it on. I'm going home now.
Doors
Let's go,
opening.
let's